Sarah's done all the research for this episode. I've been a bit of a lazy slob. Haven't really found many articles for you guys. I do apologize in advance, but I will speak fast to make up for my lack of effort prior.
You've just been busy doing other things. You've been busy hustling on your own stuff this week, which is fine. I'm allowed to, have some good articles here and there and, come through with the goods.
I'm going to take the judgment off the plate today. I'm not going to be my typical judgy self. I'll let the viewers decide if what you're bringing to the table is worthy of their time or not. I'm just gonna sit back and just to be an observer.
Yeah, and see if it's worthwhile or not. But it's the whole thing. Like, it's all about finding stuff that we're interested in talking about, or that's like the way I sort of find. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. That would be interesting. Kind of start as like a diving point or a starting
basically
point.
Learn about, because you haven't done that much research. We're kind of headline readers in reality. Let's just put it out there.
Yeah, but it's like a starting point, and I kind of like to see where the conversation sort of flows. Sometimes we stay on the article, and sometimes we like segue into something completely different.
So where are we starting?
I wanted to do this one last.
Pick one and move.
Let's go like Stanley Cups, because I wanted to do
Stanley Cup.
Not the hockey Stanley Cup, but this is like the it's like almost now like a viral sensation. So I was going to talk about it last week, but another article popped up this week about it. So for those that might have found out, so a lot of people use drink bottles. I know we have our own drink bottles and stuff that we
we don't have branded drink bottles.
No.
But we could probably make that. It's not going to sell, but.
I've been one of those people that's always had a bottle of water on me. I remember when we first started dating, you were kind of like, oh, I'm really thirsty. And all the time I'd just whip out a water bottle that was like hanging out in my bag. And you're like, oh, you've always got water on you. I'm like, I know. But it's kind of.
Conversation we had, was it?
Yeah, it was like ages and ages ago, because I always had water on me. Always had like water and like tissues or something, being a classic girl that I am. But there's a thing like, girls like to stay hydrated, or they always carry their water bottle around and stuff. And then Stanley company, so the ones that make like Stanley knives and stuff, have like made this cup. And now it's like all the like teen girls love it. They have a whole bunch of different like collectible colors and like exclusive colors.
Why are they getting into the cup game?
So these used to be like tradie cups. So see how it's like narrow
gotcha.
At the bottom? It'd go into
Stanley
a cup
is
holder.
just a brand, like a Home Depot type of brand.
100%. Yeah, they make Stanley knives and stuff. So, but
I just didn't know that. I thought they just made knives and like rulers and things.
Yeah.
But I guess it's kind of the Yeti tumbler is what I'm thinking
exactly,
of.
Yeah.
That's
So
more of a hiking brand, I think.
Yeah, Yeti's more hiking, but yeah, so Stanley, so these were just like tradie ones, so people would have them, but they started to kind of go viral because like not uni girls, but like college girls started to use them, and they started to have this whole indestructible thing as well. So I think one part went viral because a girl was like in a car crash, or like the car like caught on fire or something, and the Stanley Cup was like one of the few things that survived.
Right, that's what I'm trying to think, because there's these products that go, I guess you would call them viral every now and then. It's interesting to trace it back to the origin point, because these things probably existed for plenty of years beforehand. But it's interesting to trace it back to that one jumping off point, whether it is a really clever marketing campaign by the brand itself, or it's like the thing I'm thinking of is like the cranberry juice, the ocean spray juice with the guy on the skateboard, which was not really the influencer guy doing it. It was the actual brand trying to think of ways to use it. Whereas what's more interesting to me is just a random occurrence or an event that's triggered this global sensation, which if that was the case and it was indestructible from a car crash, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I think it was always sort of on the rise, because you'd see like college girls like TikToks and stuff, they would be going to class in like their pajamas or track pants and stuff, and they'll be carrying like their big cup with them.
So the color, I guess having the variation of colors is what?
Well, that was like because it started to become super popular and all these girls were starting to buy it. They're like, all right, how can we like capitalize on this kind of exclusivity type thing? Because one thing, so like for those that are watching, like we've got our drink bottles, but see how it's like super big at the bottom?
And just an ugly green color.
Ugly green color, but it's not going to fit in a cup holder.
I see. Yep.
Yep. So that's like another thing. So it's like it fits in a
standardized cup holder for cars and things.
Yeah.
Or even, do they have cup holders in like desks? So that I know when I went to uni, they didn't have cup holders, or even like a camping chair.
Yeah.
That's where you want to have something that's that same dimensions. Although saying that, I know in America they have gigantic versions of all the drinks they have.
Yes.
So how could it be like this coffee cup is kind of I guess the width of a normal 375 ml Coke can, or like a slushy or a Gatorade or something like that.
Yeah.
Whereas in America, everything's
plus sized.
So I guess
or super sized.
Is it? It'd have to be taller, but it'd have to be wider at the base as well.
Yeah.
So I'm confused about how that would work. In terms of, you go get a big gulp or something, it's not going to fit in your standard cup holder in your car.
No, it's not going to
Whereas
fit.
this Stanley one looks like a wood.
Yeah, so people just like tip their drinks and stuff into it. And
that makes sense.
Yeah, or they have, because it's got like the straw and stuff in it as well. Like a lot of people like it, but you got the handle so girls can like hold on to it and take it places.
So I'm curious to see the Google trend of this because they're not in Australia. I've never seen them.
I think, well, they're, like I said, they're becoming like, you see like reels and like TikToks and stuff of just like people getting them gifted for Christmas and going absolutely bonkers because they,
really
got
this. The trend is, that's past day. Let's have a look.
Let's see.
Last 5 years, Google Trends, one of our favorite analysis tools. Yeah, it's on a rise. Looks like it's
had a bit of
every June it peaks. I wonder why that is.
Summer?
That would be the NFL.
That would be the
I don't know how I'd refine that search.
Stanley Cup drink.
Okay, maybe that's on a steady rise. Maybe they sell more during the Stanley Cup.
Maybe. Or just like the word gets searched a lot more, Utah.
Drinking glass, Stanley Cup 40 ounce. If my rap terminology is correct, 40 ounce is like what we would consider, how we have long necks?
Yeah.
It's like kind of the same amount, but it's a way thicker, fatter bottle.
Gotcha.
Anyway, so we're getting way off track.
I know, let's get back to the article.
Stanley Tumbler Craze.
Yeah, so now it's becoming super resell because it's gone viral, obviously, and because they've realized, okay, our market is like young kids or like young college-age people. What's something that they're going to like? And it's kind of, I guess, playing off like that sneakerhead sort of type. So exclusive colors, limited editions, and now they're becoming like more of a resale value because you can't get these colors anywhere else.
So they're on StockX here
Yeah.
in different. So it is tapping into that sneaker culture of different colorways of shoes.
Yes.
And collectability. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Like it's just like one of those unlikely products. And I think because, the whole, I guess, health culture or like health movement of what it is that you're like consuming and stuff. This is just like another way to be like, well, stay hydrated, stay healthy, drink lots of water, get your Stanley Cup kind of thing. But now you can get like exclusive colors and everything as well.
So they're stainless steel? Oh, yeah, they're stainless steel.
Yeah, so it'd be like, keeps your drinks probably like normal stainless steel ones, probably keeps them cooler for ages.
I wonder if this is just a quick crash and burn type of craze.
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
So this article's from Vice from yesterday. Wow, you really
Well, because like the original article I had for last week, that was from last week, which I've also, that's just kind of like how Stanley Cup became
there's still
popular.
More coming out.
Yeah.
So the Stanley Tumbler TikTok hashtag has been viewed more than 900, so basically 1 billion times, with viral videos showing people queuing for hours in the rain, ransacking supermarket shelves and displaying collections in their homes like works of fine art. Okay, that's a bit ridiculous. The brand's pretty loving this.
Yeah.
The Stanley Cup hashtag, formerly a National Hockey League trophy page, has been overrun by the product.
Yeah, so it's like, so people thought, when you think of the Stanley Cup, obviously you think of like the hockey one, but now this cup holder or this cup drink or whatever you want to call it has just gone taken over.
Yep. So it's former marketing CMO, Chief Marketing Officer for Crocs, is now at Stanley, and I basically took the learnings from there in regards to tapping into the influencer marketing.
Yeah, because you think about Crocs, right? You've got exclusive colorways and things like that.
So this second article you have is actually pretty interesting because it shows that for the first couple of years there was basically like a dud product for the brand, and then it sort of took off.
Right.
Once they had a bit of interest. It looks like it got featured in like one of those sort of buy now guides or like a Christmas guide or something like that. And then from there, it's continued to grow. And I guess I don't understand the concept of like collecting all the colors. Like I get their nice colors for Instagram. People might want to color coordinate their outfits based on their bottle, which is kind of insane to think about. It's consumerism at its finest.
It's like having a different colored handbag or something like that.
But you don't see many with straws in them, which is kind of cool, I guess. Depending on what's in there, like water makes sense. I know from a nutrition standpoint, if you have like a sweet beverage, if you're drinking it through a straw, it's kind of bypassing your teeth, so you don't get as much sugar building up on your teeth. But yeah, that's kind of an interesting concept. I wouldn't be in any rush to buy one, but it's good to see that hydration's becoming popular, and also, I guess, the sustainability aspect of it being stainless steel and people aren't
getting rid of the whole plastic bottle thing. Yeah.
So with every new color Stanley rolled out, this is from CNBC, sales continued to rise. Stanley's revenue jumped from 73 million in 2019 to 94 and now 194 in 2021. So they've more than doubled their revenue. Big thanks to this. And it's interesting from a business standpoint if you can sell a replenishable product and people love it and keep coming back and they need to buy a new version or just basically get an upgrade or something every so often, that would be a great way to run a business. But for Stanley knives, they last such a long time. It's not like you're going back and putting money into Stanley every X amount of months.
No, you just need to buy the replacement blades. That's it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose. But with these, technically you only ever need one, but they've built such a hype around the color schemes that now it's becoming a collectible thing.
100%.
Which is kind of wild to think about. I understand sneakers because they're on display all the time. I guess drink bottles can be on display all the time.
Well, yeah, it's like if you're... whether you're like walking around with it or whatever, like because it's got the handle, you can walk around, hold on to it. So like it's always going to be with you. I know for me, like I've always got a water bottle on me. It could be maybe more of a girl thing than a guy thing, but you know, always having that water bottle on you. There was a joke going around at work for ages calling it your support water bottle, like your support companion or something like that. Like, so you've always got it with you because you know, whether it's like a Frank Green one, because they make massive water bottles and stuff now. Like I have a girl who's like, oh yeah, I've got my, you know, where's Frank? You know, they call it's like a thing, like where's Stanley? You know, it's kind of like an accessory, but because it's something that, you know, you stay hydrated with, it becomes more of an attachment than anything else.
Yeah, it's just an interesting business and marketing move. And obviously, you know, you get any sort of influencer with some notoriety. You know, if the Kardashian wears some pink outfit when they go on shopping or something and they have a pink thing, like sales can just go ridiculous if you have the right influencer behind it.
100%. And like, I guess it's not really promoting anything bad because it's like, it's just promoting like making sure you drink lots of water. But I've seen people, they'll put like soft drink into it.
Well, they're not really promoting water though. They're just promoting their product. If they had a whole marketing campaign about
thirst quenching,
and the science behind staying hydrated and things like that, different story.
Yeah, it's just a really interesting product because it started off as like, I don't know, just your takeaway cup for like your ute or whatever it is.
It really just goes to show how the concept of limited edition and colors can really capture audiences that was never intended for that brand.
Yeah, and then you have the right influencers, either like just like it's just there while they're drinking it in a video or things like that. People are like, I want that color.
Stanley has now sold more than 10 million quenches and demand for the cup doesn't look to be waning anytime soon. So they've got a gigantic range. I'd say too many offerings there.
Yeah. But I think it's just that one particular size, that standard size seems to be.
But who am I to talk about?
Yeah, and while the success quench was fueled by a large part of an embrace of colours favoured by its new female audiences, Stanley is clearly onto something in its first. So that's 110 years.
Their entire demographic for the business
was probably like tradie dudes or like
now
workman
has changed.
dudes.
Imagine you've got all these different components of your business, you know, marketing, finance, public relations, all that sort of stuff. And now they have to rewrite the entire handbook basically to make sure new demographics are included as opposed to let's just sell this at Walmart or Home Depot or whatever. We have to now think, how do we get this into, I don't know, like Whole Foods or like Trader Costco Joe's or whatever, places that the women are going shopping. Yeah.
But it's like it's an interesting thing, right? Because they got in the marketing director from Crocs and like Crocs was viral for so long. It probably is still viral. Yeah. Like that's a smart play on their part to get someone who kind of understands that demographic, understands, you know, like color and fashion and being like a viral sensation or having those viral moments. That's smart for them to get someone like that on board as well.
But how much creativity can be added in now? Like once they've got the colors and stuff, there's not a lot of extra creativity you can put in because you want to make sure the brand logo is prominent, which it always is towards the top of the cup. So if someone's holding it, the logo's never covered up with someone's hand or anything like that.
Well, it's like...
So you can't really add anything in there other than maybe like Bluetooth or something.
Bluetooth. I mean, you can get Bluetooth drink bottles.
I know.
But think about Air Force Ones or think about just Nikes in general, Nike. You know, they have those limited edition, like the whole sneaker game, like Converse, right? You got the classic cut, like you've got the one cut, but it's all about the limited editions. It's all about the collabs. It's all about, you know, having that exclusivity that I think would probably be the one thing that would carry them on for a little bit longer. I'm not sure how long it will last for, but because they've only got, you know, the one size fits all, the color change is pretty much the only thing they can do.
I guarantee these aren't in Australia yet. Nothing's coming up Stanley in Australia.
Stanley Cup
40 ounce, Australia.
Australia only? Some.
But they're not Stanley. They're not branded by Stanley. It's just someone pretending.
They've just put Stanley in the title.
You can imagine, like, this is just an Alibaba product. You can just chuck a brand on straight away if you wanted to.
Some. Like, does someone wear, like, Bunnings for those, I guess, in America listening right now? I think Bunnings is UK and Australia. Bunnings is like our...
So this person's selling them. They got zero feedback. So it's just someone that's probably just some sort of
that looks
scam
like
account.
Might not be a scam account.
They got zero. They're trying to sell 4 of these and they have zero feedback. They haven't sold anything before.
They probably imported it from them. These people
right now,
probably...
they've just jumped on the trend.
Yeah, so they've imported themselves from overseas or whatever it is, and then now they can sell it.
I mean, it could work. I mean, let's look at the sales, though.
Stanley.
I'm just curious if it's even... Are we early on the trend? Are you early? I don't think you are, but...
Maybe early within Australia. It's massive in America.
Winter Stanley Quencher, $47, sold today. This person has 36 feedback. Looks like there's just a bunch of stores that are capitalizing on this.
100%, because it's viral. Like, it's...
Maybe not.
It's probably, like, whether it's going to hit here in Australia, which I think it will. Like, this is like... It's...
Is it the colours or the brand?
Teens.
Like, what is the selling point? The colours, the actual brand, or the features? Features and benefits, right? What's more important?
I think the colours is probably what's going to sell it. From, like, an older person that drives, it's actually a really good idea. I saw this once. I saw this video of this person. You can get, like, plumbing supplies and stuff, but you can get, like, from Bunnings or whatever, just, like, a part of a pipe that's, like, a similar thing. So, like, it's, like, got a wide hole at the top and it narrows down at the bottom, and people have their big drink bottles. They're grabbing that attachment from, like, Bunnings, and then you can put it in your car and then put your big drink bottle in there.
Yeah. That's some DIY shit right there.
Yeah. Have a look if... What will come up for Stanley? You got your tape measures.
Yeah, your toolkit. Oh, they got 300 products. And they're just all tools and blades and organisation.
It is the same brand.
It is the same brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting how it's gone from like tradie, like workman type of a demographic
like
into
high masculine, and now it's like very like feminine, women, shopping, fashion. Yeah. Stanley.
What would it be under? Drinkware? They got one
drinkware. I bet it's just like a flask.
Stanley Rogers cocktail set. So random. Interesting. What else we have this week? Stanley Cup. Will you buy one? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Or if you already have one, and how do you rate it? I kind of like my $50 Celsius drink bottle because it keeps my water cold for a very long time.
Promoting Celsius, are we?
Sure. Why not? It's the drink bottles that we drink. I don't think it's
even a good brand. It's just a cheap Rebel brand.
Yeah, but it's not cheap. It's $50 for a water bottle.
No, but like they're not like a global multi-million.
It's not like
brand.
a Frank Green or anything like that. Fair enough.
Or just promoting. You're going to say a brand name, you get paid for it. You said Frank Green, and now I've said it twice.
Doesn't matter. It's fine.
Does matter.
Yeah. The other thing that's gone like huge at the moment is like the Mickey Mouse thing. But like, so Mickey Mouse is now public domain because it's just so old.
Yeah, 95 years public domain. Well, after something intellectual property wise has been around for 95 years in the US, I'm not sure Australia's probably the same sort of deal, roughly. It's now you're able to use it without any copyright infringements or anything like that. Because
that happened to Winnie the Pooh a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah, we talked about it. They did a horror movie on it.
Yeah.
And usually people know that the copyright or the public domain is going to come up soon, so they essentially work on things behind the scenes
and then launch it. Yeah, fair enough.
So there is a Mickey Mouse version of the horror movie coming out. Is that what you have here? Oh, you do have it here.
Yeah, so that's just in the article. I think it's in the next one as well, but it looks horrifying.
Yeah, so we should obviously give a bit more info. Mickey Mouse, 95 years, can now be used. It's the original Steamboat Willie version. I don't know if there's like new copyright.
Yes.
I guess legalities. Around the design and colours and the way it's portrayed and things like that.
No, it would have to be because, the old school Mickey Mouse looks heaps different.
Is it just the character or is it the version of the character? If that makes sense.
I would say one
should probably do our research. Obviously, it's clear we don't do our research.
We're hypothesizing. One would probably be one, the name, but then two, probably the likeness. The original look. Yeah.
So in January 4, this is you're living in the past here. On January 4, 2024, Mickey Mouse is now up for public domain. Be aware of this fact. He's been portrayed in... Sorry, I'm trying to paraphrase and read the actual words at the same time, and I butchered it. This is why I should just let you do your episode.
Yeah. Should I just... Okay. So earlier this month, because we're not that far into the month so far, because today's only like the 6th coming... Like, anyway, it's been a few days into the month. Yep. Yes. So with the whole idea of like Mickey Mouse... originally was portrayed in, what happened? So it was really portrayed in 1928 in Steamboat Willie, which we're all familiar with. I remember there's like, Simpsons did like a parody with Itchy and Scratchy and stuff like that. So the whole spectrum of Mickey-related posts and memes have been posted online, mostly ranging from irrelevant to revolting. And I think if anything goes online or becomes public domain, people are going to like abuse the shit out of it.
Oh, there's definitely Mickey porn out there right now.
100%. So even wilder than the hype around gore and boobs fest and last year's Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, which was the horror movie, everyone seems to have a joke. So Steamboat Willie remix is a hot take. So does my Mickey Mouse content need to be transformative or fair use? And that's where it comes into the whole like copyright thing. So is it transformative? Do you have free reign?
Yep.
So long story short, no. So you don't need to have a fair use rationale to use Mickey in your own work. He belongs to you now because it's public domain.
Is it literally the public owns Mickey Mouse now?
Yes.
To do with what they will.
100%. Yeah. And this happens not only to like art and stuff, this happens to music as well. Music becomes public domain too after a certain amount of time. So to illustrate this, let's look at the most notorious example from recent days. Upcoming video game formerly known as Infestation 88 announced that just after the new year by a company called Nightmare Forge Games.
So there's a video game coming out. There's a movie coming out. It's interesting what Disney will do with it.
Yes, because Disney are very, not controlling, but they're very protective of their characters. And like Mickey Mouse is the logo of Disney.
That's true.
Like it is. It's like,
think about that.
Yeah, because you got the Magic Mickey, you got the hidden. Exactly.
Disneyland, like the main, a lot of the main artwork and imagery associated with that is Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, so just the head and the ears. And they have like, in all the Disney movies and stuff, you have that hidden Mickey outline everywhere, like the hidden cookies and stuff. So it'll be interesting if they can. I think I remember reading ages ago, and again, this is like a headline read, that they're trying to stop it from becoming public domain, but I don't think they were successful.
I'm just going to type in future of Mickey Mouse.
See what pops up.
Disneyland.
Yeah. So could soon lose. They're just saying, it's expiring soon, so everybody knew it was.
We're trying to find a reason.
1 week. Yeah, so do they even have the power to do anything?
Well, it's public domain. It's still their domain. Yeah. They can do what they want. But it's not like in 50 years, people are going to forget where it originated from, and there's going to be some new creator that does their own version of Mickey Mouse in some new format, and everyone thinks that's the originator. Obviously, Wikipedia is going to exist for some time. People are going to know where it started. Yeah. But it's like, how long will they hold on to it as the predominant logo and image for the brand?
Right.
Because if this happens now, then we had cartoons starting, around this time, 100 years ago, 90 years ago. Every year that goes on, we're getting closer to another thing in public domain, another thing, another thing.
Yes.
But there's not really any other brands that I can think of that have a character that globally known as the logo. Most other brands have like a logo, but not a character as a logo. You have Swoosh, you have Paramount Pictures, all those sort of things, but there's no character.
That's what they're known for, kind of thing. The only thing other that Disney sort of have is, I guess, is their castle logo, which is, I think, from Cinderella.
But you can't. You're not making a movie about a castle.
This is not as talking, speaking. This is not like a moving thing that people can use in other stuff.
This is one of those articles that has an image every third line.
Image and an ad every third time. It'll be interesting because that means like stuff like Fantasia will be coming up soon because that's really old.
Well, that's not. You're talking about the actual artwork, not like it's the character is like more the issue.
Like Wizard Mickey and stuff. Like it's just interesting.
When's the last time you even watched anything by
Disney?
Yeah. Like Mickey Mouse related anyway.
No, it's been a very, very long time. I was like, does Marvel count? Not really.
Like, what is Mickey in anyway? There's probably a bunch of cartoons on Disney.
I remember they had obviously the Disney Babies was one. It was like Mickey Mouse was like a baby.
Muppet Babies?
No, not Muppet Babies, but there was a TV series and it had like Mickey and Minnie Mouse. Like they've had all these other little like solo shows.
And before we go any further, I think we should definitely say that we're not public domain or copyright lawyers or have any knowledge at all. So don't take our word as gospel in terms of what you can and can't do with Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, Drew and Sarah said I could use this free.
No, refer to this podcast. We could probably play Mickey Steamboat Willie here and not get demonized. I mean, there's one thing here that says YouTube demonizes public domain Steamboat Willie video after copyright claim. So I'm not going to take that chance. That might be a bit stressful.
So maybe you can use the character, but you still can't like use like you can't, I guess, post a video of someone else's like work and like mark it off as your own. So you can use the character and you can use the likeness and you can use the name, but you can't just like repost Steamboat Willie.
Yeah. So I just found this real quick. Technically, later versions of Mickey are still under copyright, so you can only use the Steamboat Willie one.
So that answers the
it
question.
doesn't have to be black and white. You can use different colors, and it's not the voice either. You can basically, according to this disclaimer, not every feature of Mickey's later iterations is individually copyrightable. Giving your mouse a squeaky voice is not copyrightable, she says, so your version of the mouse can speak however you like. Giving your mouse a certain kind of personality is also not copyrightable, hence horror Mickey. So it's really just the actual drawing, the illustration itself.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of, I mean, I don't know how that works. That's kind of a grey area unless you're some sort of expert.
Yeah, so I guess it'd be up to Disney at the end of the day whether they take someone to court or not and be like,
well,
this is...
yeah, think about the amount of, they might have to deploy a whole team to like
Mickey Mouse lawyers.
Yeah, more or less, like to hunt down unfair usage.
Mouse hunt.
Jesus Christ. Operation Team Mouse Hunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just...
It's funny. It just threw me off. But there's this article here from Fast Company, which came out yesterday, that breaks down the implications and like what you can and potentially can't get away with.
Yep.
For example, the same thinking applies to Mickey Mouse's gloves.
Right, because his gloves are so unique as well.
Yeah, but he didn't have the gloves until 1929. So in 2025, you'll be able to put gloves on.
Gotcha.
So as time goes on, there's new iterations that will be available. You know, like for The Simpsons, we're all aware like the first version of Simpsons was crusty as all hell.
Yes.
And now it's a lot better. So like as the years go by, there's things that get added and added. So in 50 years time, there might be a lot of stuff, or there will be a lot of stuff available for public domain, because it's not like they're going to change this. Like what is it? It's just a law, I guess. Like what would you call it?
Yeah.
It's not like a part of the, what do the Americans call the...
I was going to say constitution.
Yeah, it's not like part of that.
No.
I think.
So it's like...
We all obviously have no idea how the US...
does their stuff,
does
we barely know how Australia does their stuff.
We barely know how to turn the lights on, to be quite frank. What we do know is how to stay focused.
We do. That was a good one.
Staying focused becomes a lot easier when you're drinking your Magic Mind. So it's actually Saturday, 9:30, and I've kind of had my limit of coffee already. I had one little black one. I woke up at 4 o'clock. I waited my hour.
Yeah.
Did the human method, waited a whole hour before I had my first coffee. And now I have my second one at 9:30. Thank you for going and getting that, by the way.
You're welcome. Always just like a little bit of like a coffee before the actual pod. But I remember you saying that these actually work well with coffee as well. So I know we've talked about wanting to limit our coffee caffeine, but you know, if we've only had our one coffee, when you have the Magic Mind, they kind of work, but they kind of work together.
It kind of hasn't worked on you yet because you haven't drank it. That's why your words aren't working very well.
Let me drink it up. Yeah, they're very tasty, which is what I like.
But they're little juice shots full of all kinds of good things. Nootropics, has some matcha green tea in there, has some lion's mane, some adaptogens. It's like a little juice shot that kind of just gives you a little pep in your step. The coffee, as we've said before, can give you that crash and burn effect. Whereas things like ingredients like matcha can kind of have more, it still has a little bit of caffeine, but it's more a delayed kind of release throughout the system as opposed to like a big spike. Yeah.
Well, I get that 2 p.m., 3 p.m. hit against the wall so easily, and I'm at work and I'm yawning and I'm just like super tired.
You know what? I should have had one yesterday because I did that live stream on my YouTube channel.
Yeah, and you're getting burnt out.
Well, I went and got a double shot coffee yesterday before I did one and bought you a small coffee because usually you have a small one and I had already paid for it and you're like, I didn't want one.
No.
So right before I did my live stream, I was kind of stressed out. I was making a bunch of dot points in a document that I was going to talk about in my live stream, smashed my double shot coffee, and then I had your one there. And because it was like the anxiety of getting the document ready, I had like 15 minutes to finish it. And I was like getting that thing where you're like, it feels like your temperature's rising a little bit because you're getting a little bit anxious, a little bit stressed. And then the coffee's like making it come on doubly fast.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go and have a shower to try and literally
down.
like 2 minutes before I went live, I'm like getting out of the shower.
Yeah.
And what did I do? I still grabbed your small coffee to take in with
Rather
me.
than the magic
So
mind.
if I had one of these, potentially could have saved some water and wouldn't have needed that shower.
Yeah, and that's what I like about these because, like you said, like with the coffee, you get that anxiety kind of, and actually it's kind of proven that coffee actually enhances anxiety, right? So
If you have too much, yeah.
yes, yeah. So if that's something that you're, I guess, sensitive to or something like that, then shots like Magic Mind is probably a little bit better because one, you get that caffeine boost like through matcha, but it's more of like a steady release. You don't have to worry about having that crash. And like you said, it's like it's actually got some pretty decent ingredients in it. It's not just like bean juice, water, and sugar.
Bean
It's
juice,
actually
yeah. And it's not grainy. Sometimes you have the little juice shots and it can be grainy or have the pulp in it. It's super smooth. Even like taste, like using my tongue to coat the back of my mouth now, there's no like grain or like, I guess, sediment or anything from the actual ingredients. And it's just kind of nice and sweet. You can kind of feel the matcha there. You can kind of taste it, but the passion fruit is just like, I'm going to make this pleasant for you.
Yeah, you
So-
don't have a weird aftertaste or anything. It just makes it a bit nicer.
If you're after something to, get a bit more focus and productivity and have something in addition or an alternative to your coffee, give Magic Mind a try. You can visit magicmind.com and use our coupon code LMIH20 to get 20% off your order. Give it a try. They come in like little packs of 15, so you can use it over the course of a month or something. But yeah, definitely recommend. And I want another one immediately because I need the sweetness.
I know, you love the sweetness.
So what else do we have other than Mickey Mouse? Anything interesting?
Oh, that was just kind of creepy, the ChatGPT face. So like a new device. So you know how it's just all text based, right? So that one there is kind of like, obviously they just put like a makeshift like digital face.
So you're saying ChatGPT is all text, yep. So what's going on?
So someone's made a device that gives it a face, so you can physically talk to it. Yeah.
Is it animated? Does it move?
It does, yeah.
Like
so
its
it's
lips
all
move in correlation with the words.
Yes.
Oh, that's creepy.
super, super creepy. So it's like giving them an actual face. So I think
can you choose the face?
I'm
Can you use
assuming-
Mickey Mouse?
You probably could. Could you imagine like just Mickey Mouse is now the face of ChatGPT because
And
it's
you
like free to
choose the
name.
voice. You choose like a Morgan Freeman voice on Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. So I think sort of at this stage.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I've just got like goosebumps from that face. It looks weird.
So it's a bit like, whether it's Amazon Alexa or it's like Apple Siri or,
I'm literally getting, that's like, I know it's just a face projected on a little device, but it's kind of.
or, Microsoft Cortina, like whatever it is. Cortana. You've just got like a face that's kind of like talking back at you from, I guess, what you're asking. You ask it a question.
Not with you. Yeah. Awesome. Just we want more of that.
No, because just say if like, you ask like something for Siri on your phone, it's like, oh, Siri, what's the weather like? So, but instead of like coming it up with a little like talking symbol, a face pops up on your phone, like FaceTime, and tells you what the weather's going to be like.
It's kind of like a Google Nest Hub with a face.
Yes.
I kind of like it now. I want one. The design could be better.
It looks like very much like a Magneto mask.
Well, think about like Cameo, right? You pay this C-grade celebrity a lot of the time $50 to give your partner a birthday shout out.
Yeah.
Once we start getting into the realm of, washed up celebrities needing money to survive, and they're going to basically rent their face out, prostitute their face out to a device like this so you can have your version of them responding to you. That's for sure going to happen. You've already got voices on like your Navmans and your GPS devices and things like that.
Voice assistants on so many things.
But, with a prominent or a noticeable voice that you're aware of, once people start doing it as faces, that's a different game.
Yeah. Well, there's I think it's Back to the Future #2 where he goes into like that futuristic cafe and you've got like celebrities on the TV, like little portable TV screens, and they're like, oh, what would you like to have a drink for today? And, it's just their likeness like serving you or giving you stuff. That's like essentially what this premise is, which is
But this could also be built into like your FaceTime as well. So you could swap it out.
Yeah.
So, there'd have to be a device that links to your phone or your computer or something that is multifaceted. I guess, like I'm looking at this, I'm trying to think if Apple or Google made that version and you could link it to your phone, then it's not necessarily a ChatGPT device. There's just an app that has the face on there, and then the device can still do many other things.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just like a face to a voice assist in a way. But yeah, like I'm kind of surprised. Like the tech's already out there, right? So you already have people that put like animated faces to, you know, people talking and stuff like that already. Like that's, you know, you've got the deep fakes. Like this is just a version of a deep fake.
Interesting. Is this like a real thing, or just some nerds just made one version of it?
Oh, it's a $5,000 device, so it's probably a handful of them out there. So AI, where is it saying? Even though it's technically impressive on paper, it almost costs a whopping $5,000 of your American dollars.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
No.
But I can see it getting down to $500 at one point.
Mm-hmm.
We had. That's the worst name I've heard in some time. And we do head though.
Yeah, we do head. Let's see.
Something about the rainbow is just making me feel ick.
Yeah. Is there an actual video? No. It's a weird design though.
It is.
It's a very, there has to be some sort of like reason
There's
why
a reason
it's
why
designed.
the eyes are separated.
Yeah, we head. Obviously somewhere has to have it on there. Yeah, this guy.
Oh, it's been out for a few months. Oh, Linus Tech Dude.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's been out for quite some time. So this is old. Yeah, hey, you did well with the Mickey stuff. This is old news.
My bad. It's a new article.
We had Avatar at CES.
Oh, that noise scared at me.
I can see your face. Look at that. That's quite interesting. Okay, so there you are there. There you are.
Oh, so someone else's face can go on it as well.
Okay.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah, 10 years when it's got arms and legs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting there, guys. We're getting there.
So this is the astral video.
Right.
CES
That's
is
that
in
3D
Las Vegas
aspect.
in January, and there are tons of awesome
Okay,
devices.
so I think it was out a year ago now, but now you can buy it commercially.
Up in hotels, so I'm going to be filming a lot. So
Well, we know what next week's episode is going to
Oh,
be.
beautiful.
CES. So there you go, guys. We'll wrap it up there for this week. If you're interested in the new stuff coming out, so Sarah's not bringing up 12-month-old technology.
Hey, it was a new
Next
article.
episode, we'll talk about all the new CES like we like gadgets and trends and technology, and we'll see what's coming around the corner. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of AI-centric type of things.
Has to be. Yeah, so I think from last year, there's a lot of stuff on health tech.
Yep.
There was a lot of stuff on like robotics, just make it easier, like around food delivery and stuff like that, parcel delivery, like just drone tech in general as well. So it'd be interesting it would have to 100% be very like AI focused.
If we're getting closer and closer to being more and more lazy. Because I know one of the big things we talked about was last year was bed rotting and the Apple Vision Pro. So I think we're going to go on that trend, guys, of like how we can stay in bed longer and have make more technology do more of our stuff. So we'll touch base next week. Thank you all for listening. Next week's episode 99.
Poof.
And then we might just give up the show and just never reach that milestone.
Could you imagine be like, you know what, 99's enough. Don't need to hit that big 100. But no, we'll be here back again. Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to leave a review, like and subscribe, give us your feedback. That always helps us improve and everything as well. So thank you so much and we'll see you next time.
All right, love you. Bye.